Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Crit or Miss. And on today's episode, we are going to be talking about Demon the Descent. Now, whenever it comes to this... One second. What this could be. And the Imposters. Well, let's give this a go. Mr. Bivens, I hope this tape finds you well. Enclosed in this package is a copy of Josh Gordon's The Imposters. Your task is to review the game and uncover the conspiracy that hides within. Oh, come on! I was going to do Demon the Descent! It was going to be cool, and World of Darkness videos usually always get me the most hits on average. Why do I... Silence! It must be done. The future of everyone is at stake. How are you even talking? Aren't you just an audio file on a flash drive? That is not important right now. What is important is the review now goes on. Now, go on. Do it. Review the game. Bye-bye now. Well, okay. It looks like this week we're doing the Imposters.
Lights top,
When you're in PC,
lights rock.
when you depend on me,
To give you
weapons and armor information for your journey, and still you trying to hurt me.
Lights top,
When you're in PC,
lights rock.
Okay, so what is the Imposters? Well, it is an interesting anthology book pieced together for a Kickstarter by one of the authors, Josh Jordan. In it are a set of 7 games, one of which is created by Jordan, that have each won a variety of different awards and have a very similar theme of conspiracy theories behind them, or cover-ups, if you will. The back of the book more succinctly explains what the book is, so if you'll indulge me for a second. Are you an imposter? We are. Not imposters in a pod people way, although that would be cool. We struggle with imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome. The fear of being discovered as a fake expert and the inability to convince oneself of one's talent and success, despite evidence of high achievement. This book is our conspiracy against imposter syndrome. We've assembled an anthology of 7 new and award-winning role-playing games. Each game is by a different designer who struggles with feeling like a phony. Each game is conspiracy-themed. Each game is amazing. This book contains revised versions of games that have won the Golden Cobra, a game that won the 200-word RPG challenge, and a game by the former head of Game Chef. It also contains new games by young designers you may not have heard of. A Paranoid YouTube LARP, a partially encrypted psychogeography experiment, a supernatural mystery set at an FBI agent's funeral, 7 amazing conspiracy RPGs. Take that, Imposter Syndrome. Shit. I guess if you wanted validation or proof positive of your neuroses, you came to the right place. So with that being said, and with so much writing on it, what was my first impression of the Imposters? Well, it is certainly esoteric to say the least, but has an undeniable charm to it. The idea of an anthology of 7 minigames tied together by a general theme is an excellent idea, and one that I hope to see in the future. The artwork is fantastic as well, and definitely fits with the theme that the creators are going for. There are also a set of letters that appear throughout the book that, well, I would assume, I guess, is a sort of code that is meant to be cracked which also ties together with the theme and the conspiracy theory niche very nicely. The juxtaposition between different games and different pages of the book also really adds a lot to it. It definitely gives you the feeling that what you're looking at is not so much an RPG anthology, but actually the haphazardly connected notes of a real conspiracy theorist. So with that, once again, the theme is absolutely perfect and gets you instantly immersed in the setting. The games themselves, well, that is where things get interesting. To say that this is a group of some of the most experimental games I've ever come across would definitely be an understatement. They can run the gamut from traditional one-shot role-playing games to a single-player YouTube surfing conspiracy game that takes about a week to play and usually equates to about 15 to 30 minutes of your time. And then there's another game in here that's kind of like a modern retooling of games like Werewolf or Mafia. And instead of trying to find the werewolf or trying to find the mob boss, you're trying to find out who the mole is in your group of friends. The games can run from being diceless games to card games, as well as traditional dice rollers as well. Variety truly being the spice of life in this book. Some of them seem like a lot of fun to play, too. The Meat, written by Alex Carlson, comes across as one of the most immersive in terms of espionage, as well as a group dynamic gameplay that role-playing games tend to fall into. Josh Jordan's own work, The Way of All Flesh, has the most unique system with assigning card draws at various moments, and is all built around the concept of a person's funeral. Each of these games deserve massive praise, if for no other reason than actually trying to push the envelope, being innovative and executing it well regardless of if you like it or not. Considering the fact that whenever it comes to role-playing games, we tend to be a people that is a little bit weary of innovation, this is an excellent job, and it's something that's really going to push the naysayers out there to give it a go. I mean, these range from bizarre one-shots by yourself to actually really fun party games, or even sometimes whenever you just want to switch it up, so instead of playing your regular weekly session of a game, you can bring up this instead. All of these games are great, and have put a great deal of thought into their creation. If I were to choose my favorite, it would be a race between Carlson's The Meat, Todd Crapper's The Light of Day, and Josh Jordan's The Way of All Flesh, for being games that can definitely be appreciated and played as a solid one-off RPG experience. If you would pull my arm or put a gun to my head and choose my least favorite, it would be between Banana Chan's They're On To Me Red or Tim Hutchings' Field Notes 23. Now, I want to stress that these are certainly great and creative games in their own right. Chan's work was just a little too bizarre for me to grasp as a game concept, and Hutchings just didn't grab me as much as the others did in the initial reading. But they are still both excellent games and well worth at least the read-through. Overall, The Imposters gets a definite crit. It is a fantastic game, and it's innovative in all the right ways, as well as properly executed to boot. So it is definitely worth at least the purchase, for nothing else than to possibly have a one-off experience down the road. And with that being said, thank you all for watching, and please tune in next week whenever we really are going to talk about the World of Darkness. I mean, unless another one of these just randomly shows up on my doorstep. But that's probably not going to happen.